Hey out there, this is Thursday, June 18th, 2020, and it's just about 8:36 in the morning here in Northern California. Today I'll get into a few different things as usual. Uh, you know, we're all going through a lot, and in the scheme of things, it's nothing new to humanity to be going through tumultuous times. But of course, there's no two periods in history that are exactly alike, identical. And we're living in a very unique period in history. And it's kind of a bittersweet pill because, on one hand, you're lucky if you're young and you're just realizing what a mess this world you've been born into is. If you ask just even a few questions, you take this national debt and you wonder where the mainstream media is on this. I mean, mum's the word with these people, and this to me is a very serious matter. And I get into a lot of psycho spiritual matters, and I get into economic matters because there's a tie-in. Our reality is so profoundly affected by the economic aspect of what rules our lives, the rules, the regulations, the laws, or the lack of rules and regulations and laws where there should be. The rulers of this world are very evil people. You got to call a spade a spade. There's no equivocation, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's very important. It's imperative to your welfare, to my welfare, to everybody's welfare that we wake up and realize this as no other time in history. We've got information at our fingertips from ancient times. We've always had biblical information, and that's been the most powerful driver and force for good in this world because it is ancient knowledge, it's ancient wisdom. And the mind and heart of God hasn't changed since the dawn of creation, but the heart and mind of men has stayed evil and gotten more evil and more cunning and more diabolical in order to keep fighting against what is inevitably going to be a loss for the evildoers. And we need not hate these type of people, even demons and devils and satans and whatever. Okay, bad actors. I mean, we first of all we have to really say there is good and there is bad. Okay, it's as simple as that because some people get into this, hey, everything's good and don't give me this good bad stuff. I mean, that's a cop out. Okay, that's an ignorance is bliss thing, and say, hey, you know what? Don't hurt my head with facts. Okay, I don't want to know. But logic plays heavy into this discussion I'm trying to have with people. What I'm trying to convey here is that God is always logical, and this world is never logical. Okay, I mean, I just there's no sense to be had from it. Yet we've been trained so well that the evildoers have been so effective at training us to be brute beast, automatons, small-minded thinkers, narrow-minded, and accept what's handed to them. You learn about history and this and that and the next thing. You think, okay, I got the paradigm, I got the reality and that I'm born into, and I'll comply and conform and carry on and just accept the definition of success that I'm told, and worldly wise is all that counts. You live in the world. I mean, so you see, the world tries to instruct you, train you, under the pretense of being logical, but it's anything but. There's no sensibility to it at all. It does not make sense. Up one side, down the other, and to the nth degree. Roundly, it is insane. And the reason for that is because the people at the top that are creating the policies, we are all forced by mandate of law, imprisonment, okay, to follow. They exempt themselves. And then there's no laws where there ought to be a law. I mean, as simple as they're rejecting outright the final law that God gave. I mean, so simple, so childlike, so pure, so easy to follow the law that Christ gave us. Okay? Love God above all else and love each other. I mean, it's two peas in a pod. Because when you do love God above all else, it's going to fall into place. It's going to be automatic that your values are the same. Your thinking becomes the same. Your logic becomes the same. And you see how diametrically opposite the way the world is, 180 degrees. That's where it has to be. It's like, evil is just fighting against God, rebellious, defiant, wants its way. It's like a stubborn, bratty, spoiled child. I mean, not just drunk on the punch, okay, but drunk on the blood of saints. So it's powerfully drunk. It's like it's gone too far. It believes it's irredeemable. And as long as the evil in this world believes that it's irredeemable, it's going to be like a bull in a china closet. It's just Mad Bull lost its way. To quote a line from that song by the Rolling Stones, give me shelter, And that's what it is, man. I mean, we just, nothing makes sense anymore. Look where we are. Look where we are. It's fine. The rubber is finally hitting the road. So that's good news for young people. But it's traumatic too. I mean, what we're going through is very traumatic. They're using this whole, like Catherine Austin Fitts says, this plandemic, okay, as a cover for economic shenanigans. It's more theft. I mean, the Federal Reserve is heavily involved, the money printing class. Listen to the Kaiser report, what Max and Stacy and his guests talk about. These people are utterly out of control, man. I mean, these people have bought the farm, and there's nothing on that farm but demons. And they're going for it, man. I mean, dumping all this money on the public, not telling us anything about the implications, the ramifications of that debt, that soaring national debt. The mainstream media is silent. I mean, I talk about collusion in the worst way, and that's what I'm trying to point out here, is that these evildoers are colluding on even a subliminal level. A lot of them don't even know they're evil. They don't even know they're possessed by a big badass demon, a big badass money-loving demon, the most powerful force in this world, the money, the power of the purse string. And they've got us all wrapped around their finger. We need them. We need money. We need money to live. Thank God God understands this, what's going on here, and how powerful these forces of evil are. Well, what can they do if we let them? We've got to let them do this. You understand what's got to happen here? We've had anti-progress my whole life. I've just been paying attention. I'm no smarter than anybody else. I'm just curious why problems can't get solved. I'm a problem solver by nature, my birth. It's like why I came here, to explain to people the madness, that you can't deny it, that this is insanity. Writ large, man. Blinking neon lights. No progress, anti-progress. And they go under the guise of capitalism. And if you complain about it, they say you're un-American trash. I mean, this is a capitalist society, and that's the best. What are you, a freaking commie, a socialist? Go to Russia. Yet Russia's gone true capitalism. It all comes down to justice, fairness. Okay? Are you or are you not an egalitarian? Do you know the meaning of the word? Can you find anything wrong with it? Okay, what's wrong with talking about ethics, principles, values that we have in common as human beings, and why we're not allowed to have those things? Why we're not allowed to have a semblance of fairness in this system? Why we can't have any kind of progress relative to economic principles, whatever your beliefs are. I mean, sometimes I might talk like a socialist because I believe in egalitarian things. I mean, I'm just going to the Bible. I say, well, what is ancient wisdom? I mean, what is God like? We got to establish that we believe in God at least a little bit of faith will get us through this thing. Okay? But what I mean is what we're going through here is not like any other time in history. This thing I'm talking about is the transition of leaving one age behind. That's the age of the money masters of misery. They've had a long reign of terror. Do you understand? I mean, they start wars for profit. That's how given over to evil these people are. What we force God by our either willingness, our intent, or just our ignorance and our cowardice, whatever it is, we've gone along with the program. We're all culpable. We're all guilty. We should all feel a great deal of compunction that we've let this happen. We haven't done enough. We didn't go out and get ourselves shot like guys like Andrew Jackson who fought the Federal Reserve, okay, or Abraham Lincoln who fought the evil slave driver. And it all comes down to theft. Theft, that's what slavery is. Indentured servitude. And this hamster wheel we're on right now, it just gets harder and harder to turn. What do you think that is? It's the same old thing. Neo-feudalism, okay, oppression. It's a kleptocracy, a theftocracy, a kakistocracy run by the least qualified people to run an honest system. They're sellouts. Okay, all these minions sucking up to the people at the top. They know which side their bread is buttered on. They don't care about we the people. They care about money. They care about money over conscience, integrity, honor, reputation, anything. God, they don't have any use for God. This is why they have this huge advantage over us. Typical humans have boundaries. We say, we'll do this and that for money. Oh, no, we're not going there. No, no. See, we know intuitively that our values are right. They're in line with God's values, righteousness, righteous values of fairness and justice, wholesomeness, problem solving, fixing things, making things better, improvements, progress. That's all we want, but these people aren't letting it. That's antithetical to what they want. Okay, and they don't want you figuring out. They don't want you coming out of metaphorical Babylon, come out of confusion, come out of the muddied and bloodied waters that they muddied and bloodied on purpose. And it's so easy. Think how easy it is to throw a bunch of mud and blood in the waters and just really screw it up. So it's really hard to see the truth from the lies. Logic from sick logic, ill logic. It's hard because we've been trained. We've all been very trained to be money lovers. Of course we're money lovers. Thank God, God knows it. I mean, what kind of fool, what kind of idiot, okay, what kind of liar doesn't love money? God gets it. I get it. We should all be empowered with that knowledge. Admit it. Confess it. We can't go it alone. Nobody gets a waiver. Nobody gets an opt-out from birth unless you're a Rockefeller, a Rothschild, a Bush, or a Clinton, or an Obama, something like that maybe. Okay, that's new wealth, nouveau wealth, Obama. But nevertheless, I mean, his kids expect to inherit vast fortunes, right? Millions upon millions. God knows how much Obama's worth now. So, yeah, is that the way it's going to be forever? No, no. Okay, God's not a paper tiger, and people are about to find out. We're going through the heavy sea change like never before in history, unprecedented. The end of an age, the beginning of a new age. That's what we're going through. No, we haven't gone as far as getting shot like JFK or Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, and of course Abraham Lincoln was shot, and Andrew Jackson was shot at least. He wasn't assassinated that I remember, but it goes to show these people are haters, man. I want to live a long life, but I can't live it as a coward. Okay, I've got to let everybody know what's bugging me. And I want you to let people know what's bugging you. And this is the kind of stuff that's bugging you. And I like to explain to people, like to help people understand and differentiate between organic malfeasance, okay, which was done at the original sin, the Garden of Eden, and this fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the subsequent curse that befell the earth. Okay, that was a half-truth we were told. We were deceived, and we were tricked, and that's the story of our ancestors.